Hello, welcome back to Key Philosophy. Wanted to continue on today with Cantillon's essay on economic theory. Noticing the esoteric symbolism here, some of the differences between Keynesian and Austrian economics seem to come to light here, whether they are directly or indirectly related to the mystery schools and their intentions for moving society forward. But here's where part two, money and interest. This is where things get kind of interesting. Money and interest. We have barter and market prices today. Barter, because the opportunity cost of a good cannot be fixed. It is impossible to know the proper exchange ratio for barter. This problem is overcome in market by using commodities that have marketable characteristics such as transportability, durability, and recognized economic value to serve as a medium of exchange. Prices of goods do not strictly follow the quantity theory of money. In part 1, an attempt was made to prove that the real value of everything used by men is proportional to the quantity of land used for its production and for the upkeep of those who produced it. In this part 2, I will start by summing up the different degrees of land fertility in several countries and the different kinds of products it can bring forth in greater abundance according to its intrinsic quality. Then, assuming the establishment of towns and their markets and facilitate the sale of these products, it will soon be shown by comparing exchanges that could be made, wine for cloth, wheat for shoes, hats, etc., and by the difficulty involved in transporting these different products or merchandises, that it was impossible to fix their respective intrinsic value. Therefore, it was absolutely necessary for men to find a substance easily transportable, not perishable, and having by weight a proportion or value equal to the different products and merchandise, whether needed or convenient. Hence there arose the choice of gold and silver for large businesses and of copper for small transactions. These metals are not only durable and easy to transport, but correspond to employment of large area of land for their production, which gives them the true value people seek in an equivalent in the medium of exchange. Mr. Locke, who, like all the English writers on the subject, has looked only to market prices, establishes that the value of all things is proportional to their abundance or scarcity, and to the abundance or scarcity of silver for which they are exchanged. The naive quantity theory of money. It is generally known that the prices of products and merchandises have increased in Europe ever since the great quantity of silver has been imported from the West Indies. However, I think that we must not believe as a general rule that the market price of things ought to be proportional to their quantity and to the amount of silver in circulation in a particular place, because the products and merchandise that are to be exported do not influence the prices of those which remain. If, for example, there is twice as much wheat in a town in a market town that was that than what is consumed there, and we compare the whole quantity of wheat to that of silver, the wheat would be more abundant in proportion to the silver destined for its purchase. The market price will be maintained just as if there were only half the quantity of wheat, since the other half can be, and even must be, sent into the city, and the cost of transportation will be included in the city price, which is always higher than that of the town. Nevertheless, apart from the case of hoping to sell in another market, I consider that Mr. Locke's idea is correct in the sense of the following chapter, and not otherwise. So that was barter. And chapter 2, market prices. Market prices are determined by bargaining between suppliers and demanders. Price determination by supply and demand is illustrated with the thought experiment that uses a fixed quantity of perishable product, like green peas, and known maximum valuations of consumers, the maximum. Let us assume that there are butchers on one side and buyers on the other. The price of meat will be determined after some bargaining, and a pound of beef will be valued in silver money, or any money, approximately the same as all beef offered for sale in the market. The supply is to all the silver brought there by beef. To buy beef, yeah. So the demand. This proportion, or price, is settled by bargaining. The butcher sets his price according to the number of buyers he sees, while the buying on their side offers less if they think the butcher will make fewer sales. The price set by some is usually followed by others. Some are cleverer in marketing their merchandise, others in discrediting them. This method of fixing market prices has no exact or geometrical foundation, since it often depends upon the eagerness or the abilities of a small number of buyers or sellers. However, it does not appear that it could be done in a more suitable way. It is clear that the quantity of products or merchandise offered for sale, proportion to the demand or number of buyers, is the basis on which is fixed, or always assumed to be fixed, actual market prices. In general, these prices do not vary much from a supposed intrinsic value. Let's take another case. Several hotel managers have been told at the beginning of the season to buy green peas. One owner has ordered the purchase of 10 quarts for 60 livres, another 10 quarts for 50, a third 10 quarts for 40, and a fourth 10 quarts for 30. If these orders are to be carried out, there must be 40 quarts of green peas in the market. Suppose there's only 20. The sellers, seeing many buyers, will keep up their prices, and the buyers will come up to the prices asked, so that those who offer 60 for 10 quarts will be the first served, and the sellers, seeing later that no one will go above 50, will let the other 10 quarts go at that price. Those who had orders not to exceed 40 and 30 will go away empty-handed. So that's how price fixing goes. If instead of 40 quarts there were 400, not only would the hotel manager get the green peas much below the sum laid down for them, but the sellers, in order to be preferred over the others by the few buyers, will lower their green peas almost to their intrinsic value, and in that case, many managers who had no orders will buy some. It often happens that sellers who are too stubborn in keeping up their prices in market miss the opportunity of selling their product or merchandise to the advantage and are thereby losers. It often happens that by sticking to their prices, they may be able to sell more profitably another day. Distant markets can always affect the price of local markets. If wheat is extremely expensive in France, its price will increase in England and in neighboring market countries. So there was market prices. That'll be enough today. Next we'll go on to the circulation of money. So we're getting into the more interesting parts of this that have to do with everything that's going on today in our world. So thanks for joining me. If you like this, please Please give it a like and subscribe. I had a good time. I guess I'll see you later.